नमस्कार मित्रांनो, तुम्ही पाहताय माझे YouTube चॅनल चोरगेसर बायोलॉजी. Last lecture we have studied about the asexual reproduction, and in this lecture we will study the sexual reproduction in the plants. Sexual reproduction means, first of all, the type 1 we have studied is the asexual reproduction, and now the second type of reproduction we have to study in the plants is the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction involves formation of gametes and fusion of gametes to form new progeny. Sexual reproduction takes place in the higher plants in which flower is the only structure which contains the male sex organs like androecium and female sex organs like gynoecium. Such type of flower produces male and female gametes, and sexual reproduction takes place by the fusion of gametes resulting in the post fertilization changes, that is the formation of zygote, formation of seed and the formation of fruit. First of all, we have to study the introduction of sexual reproduction. It involves two parents, male and female. In the flower, in some species male flower is separate, in some species female flower is separate, but majority of the species contains both the sexes are in the same flower. The flower is called as a bisexual flower. Later we will study the flower structure also. Bisexual flower, male part in the flower is called as a androecium and female part in the flower is called as a gynoecium. Now let us study the sexual reproduction related with the androecium, gynoecium, male and female parts of the flower, and the result of the sexual reproduction is formation of offsprings which are genetically dissimilar to the parents. Result of sexual reproduction is the formation of offsprings which are genetically dissimilar to the parents. Morphologically though they are similar, but they have certain changes, certain variations in the genetic level of these offsprings, and these offsprings have better vigor, better vitality than both of the parents or any of the parent, because these offsprings contains the mixture of genetic material from both the parent. दोन्ही पॅरेंटची जेनेटिक इन्फॉर्मेशन इथं मिक्स होणार आणि ह्या मिक्सिंग मधून डिप्लॉइड ऑफस्प्रिंग तयार होणार आहे. ऑफस्प्रिंग हे दोन्ही पॅरेंट पेक्षा सुपिरियर असते इन देअर क्वालिटीज. लेट अस स्टडी द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ बायसेक्सुअल फ्लॉवर. Already the flower structure is studied in 11th standard. Let us study the flower structure again. This is stigma, style and ovary which is placed on this thalamus. This is pedicel. Here anther plus filaments, stamens are there. Next is the colorful petal, and below this here the sepal structure is here. Now study one by one part. This is the bisexual flower. In this flower structure both the sexes are present in a single flower. Here at the center there is a pistil or called as a carpel, which represents the gynoecium of the flower, which is surrounded by the stamens. These are the members of androecium. Let us study one by one. All these floral parts are placed on a thalamus. This structure is called as a thalamus, and this thalamus contains all the 4 floral whorls, and out of these the outermost floral whorl is the calyx, calyx. Next to this, corolla. Here it is stamen, and here it is carpel. Now the stamen and carpel have many different parts. Let us study one by one. Calyx. Calyx is the outermost floral wall which protects the inner floral walls from any damage. Its function is the protection, as it is outermost. As being green, it also photosynthesizes. Next to the calyx, there is a corolla. Corolla is made up of bright colored petals, and these petals are made for the attraction of insects for the pollination, as well as protection of inner floral walls. Next, very important, these two members are accessory. These two members are accessory, and these two members, carpel and stamen, these are the essential floral walls. Accessory means helping. These are not directly involved in the sexual reproduction, but essential floral walls like stamen and carpel are involved in the sexual reproduction by the formation of gametes. Now study the stamen. Stamen is the member of androecium. Stamen is made up of, this structure is anther. Here it is connective, and this is filament. Anther, connective and filament togetherly form stamen. Likewise, carpel is made up of, here it is stigma, here it is style, and at the base is the ovary, and ovary encloses one or more ovules in it. Ovary encloses one or more ovules. This is the structure of a bisexual flower. Here ovule produces female gametes, and in the anther produces pollen grains. Pollen grains are the microspores, and at the time of fertilization, pollen grain produces two haploid male gametes. Let us study one by one. Now we will study the anther first. For convenience, the sexual reproduction in plant is divided into the three stages: pre-fertilization changes, changes before fertilization, fertilization event, and post-fertilization changes. Now we have to discuss the pre-fertilization changes and study the organ one by one. The first is the male part is androecium, and androecium is made up of stamens. Individual member of androecium is stamen. Individual member of androecium is stamen. Now the structure of stamen. Stamen is made up of. Stamen is made up of. This is anther, connective, and filament. This is anther, which is the fertile part of the stamen. Here is the connective, and here it is filament. Filament raises the anther for better dispersal of pollen grain at the time of dehiscence of the anther. Let us study the fertile part, which is anther, and study the structure of anther. Now here I have drawn a figure having two anther lobes. Mostly the anther contains two anther lobes. This is anther. It contains two anther lobes. Such a type of anther is called as a dithecous type of anther. Di means two, theca means the lobes. Dithecous type of anther. Dithecous type of anther. Contains two anther lobes, 1 and 2. Here, 1 and 2. The anther having two anther lobes is called as a dithecous type of anther. And now let us study the inner structure. At the time of when the anther is immature, it is made up of a parenchymatous tissue. When the anther is immature, it is made up of parenchymatous tissue which is surrounded by a single layer of the epidermis for the protection. But at the time of maturity, this parenchymatous tissue get differentiated. And now let us study the interior of this anther, histology of the anther. If we take the TS of anther, it shows like this. TS of anther, which shows the two anther lobes. This is 1 and this is 2 anther lobes. Each lobe contains two pollen sacs. Each lobe contains two pollen sacs. प्रत्येक लोब मध्ये दोन पोलन सॅक आहेत. टोटल पोलन सॅक अँथर मध्ये किती असणार? 4. Hence the anther contains 4 pollen sacs. Hence the anther is called as a tetrasporangiate. Anther is called as a tetrasporangiate. Pollen sac is called as a sporangium. This structure is called as a sporangium or the pollen sac. Tetra 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 pollen sacs are there. Hence the anther is called as a tetrasporangiate. Understood? Now let us study the TS of anther as I have described. Four pollen sacs. This is the TS of anther. And now the TS of anther shows many cell layers. TS of anther shows many cell layers, and these cell layers are now at the time of maturity. These cell layers are derived from the initial parenchymatous tissue by the cell differentiation, or it is also called as a heterogeneity. Now the heterogeneity or the cell differentiation is nothing but the parenchymatous tissue. Here the parenchymatous tissue divides and differentiates to form many cell layers, many structures. Initially, the parenchymatous tissue divides into the two parts or the two structures. Inner side parenchymatous tissue, inner side of the anther, it is divided into the first sporogenous tissue, and second it is called as a parietal tissue, or also called as a primary parietal tissue. This sporogenous tissue forms the pollen mother cells, PMC, which divides meiotically to form pollen grains, and parietal tissue divides to form protective anther wall, or simply you can say anther wall. Sporogenous tissue gives rise to the pollen mother cells, which divides by meiosis to form pollen tetron or the pollen grains or the microspores, and parietal tissue at the outer side divides to form anther wall. Now study one by one. PMC. What is PMC? Pollen mother cells. It is derived from the sporogenous tissue. And PMC divides meiotically. Pollen mother cell divides. Here meiosis takes place, reductional cell division is there, and PMC will divide the cell into the pollen tetrad. Tetrad means 4 pollen grains are enclosed in a single capsule. एका capsule मध्ये 4 pollen grains असणार आहेत. This is the function of the sporogenous tissue. Now next is the anther wall. Here the structure is the anther wall. The entire structure is anther wall. And an anther wall is made up of, if I consider this section, this anther wall is made up of, first the outermost is a epidermis. Outermost is the epidermis. Next to this, the second one is the endodermis. The third one is the middle layer, and fourth one is the tapetum. Now let us study these structures one by one. First of all, we have to understand the histology of this section. Epidermis is the outermost layer here. Epidermis is made up of flat cells. It is outermost and protective single layer. Next to this, endodermis. Endodermis is made up of single layer of flat cells. This is the endodermis layer. Next to the endodermis, there are 1 to 2 layers of a middle layer. 1 to 2 layers of middle layer. And next to the middle layer, there is tapetum tissue. Here it is the tapetum tissue. Tapetum tissue functions as a nutritive tissue which nourishes the sporogenous tissue. Next to the tapetum, there is the presence of a sporogenous tissue. Here it is a sporogenous tissue or PMC, pollen mother cells are there. Now this is epidermis. Here epidermis. Next to this, here it is endodermis. These are middle layers, and here is the tapetum. And this is the sporogenous tissue. Sporogenous tissue. This sporogenous tissue divides meiotically to form pollen tetrad. This sporogenous tissue divides meiotically to form pollen tetrad. These are the pollen tetrads present in the microsporangium or the pollen sacs. Each one of these capsule contains 4 pollen grains. Here in this PMC or the sporogenous tissue, meiosis takes place to form a pollen tetrad. Tetrad contains 4 pollen grains. Understood? The structure of anther. Structure of anther. This is dithecous anther, TS of dithecous anther. This is first anther lobe, this is second anther lobe. Each anther lobe contains two sporangium or the pollen chambers. Hence the anther is described as a tetrasporangiate. Sporangium, this is the site. Sporangium is the site of pollen synthesis. इथं pollen grains तयार होणार. Remember one thing, pollen grain itself is not a gamete. Pollen grain produces gametophytes and pollen grain produces 2 haploid male gametes. Understood the structure of anther? Now, the microsporogenesis process, at the time of maturity, this anther produces pollen grains meiotically. The pollen grain is a haploid structure. Pollen grain is a haploid structure. When this anther get mature, the middle layer merge with each other. Middle layer merge with each other, and these chambers get merged with each other. The chambers get merged with each other, and pollen grains. Here are the pollen grains. And at the time of release of pollen grain, the very important process is the dehiscence of anther. Dehiscence means this anther wall breaks open to release the pollen grain at the time of maturity. The process is called as the dehiscence of anther. Takes place by the breaking of this anther wall at the site of dehiscence. Usually, this is the site of anther dehiscence. This is the site of anther dehiscence. From here, the anther wall breaks open. Anther wall breaks open. Endodermis plays important role. Endodermis has a lignic thickening, and when this endodermis loses the water, here the uneven thickening of this endodermis stretched out, and here the pull exerts on this anther wall, and this pull results in the break open of this anther wall to release the pollen grains. It represents the line of dehiscence, and from here the pollen grains are released. This is nothing but the dehiscence of anther. This is called as the dehiscence. Dehiscence of anther. And from dehiscence, these anthers are dispersed. These are carried by these various pollinating agencies to the flower, or in the bisexual flower, if it is a self-pollinated, then these pollen grains are dusted over the stigma of the same flower. Understood? In the next lecture, we will study the further details about the pollination. Thank you.